Tough act to follow, Ben Crump. Really? Do we have to go in alphabetical order? Well, I do love you. I do love you. Good evening. First, let me say that I am humbled and very honored to receive this Circle of Gold award and be included on the list with such remarkable Seminoles who have made such incredible contributions to Florida State. I would like to thank the Alumni Association, Scott Atwell and his first-rate team, Craig Lynch, Steve Pattison, the Circle of Gold Selection Committee, my dear friend Marianne Termina Hargett, who nominated me. And I must start by thanking first my husband, Bob Eichenberg, who is, quite honestly, my biggest cheerleader and my best life coach. He is a true partner in every sense of the word, supports every interest I have, even if that means he has to parent solo sometimes. His degree is from another school. He's a Santa Clara Bronco, yet he recognizes the passion that I have for Florida State and is the first to encourage me to do whatever I can to stay involved and to follow that passion. And I'm grateful that because of him, I have the two most perfect children in the world, Zachary and Tyler, who are smart and funny and talented and self-reliant. They also encourage, challenge, and inspire me every day. And I'm so grateful that they agreed to play hooky today so that we could drive down from Atlanta and they could be here to celebrate with me tonight. And I really wasn't supposed to be here. I know they said that about Ben, but I wasn't supposed to be a Seminole. Honestly, when most people ask me how I came to be a Seminole, I simply say, by the grace of God. You see, I was raised a Gator. It's true. It's true. My dad played football for Florida on a football scholarship. He and my mom went to Florida. Yeah, she pledged Tri-Delt, he pledged Phi-Delt, he was a member of Blue Key, and probably the biggest bull gator you have ever met. As long as I can remember, we had season tickets, and growing up near Daytona Beach, surrounded by Gator fans, I might add, we went to every game. My older brother and sister went to school there, and on weekends, my dad and I would go up to the games and visit them. Every single game. And this was back in the early to mid-'80s when the Gators were really good. So after a big win, we'd go to the bookstore, and I'd come home with another orange and blue outfit. They called me Gator Girl at school, and I'm not kidding. So you might ask, what happened? What changed? Well, my dad was also in the state senate when I was growing up, and so we spent a lot of time in Tallahassee. And I loved Tallahassee. I loved the government, and so I loved being involved with that, but I also just loved the city and the hills and the trees. So when I got the opportunity to attend a summer program here, I jumped at the chance. It was between my junior and senior year of high school, and I could stay here in the dorms, residence halls, and from the moment I walked into the student union, I knew it. This was home. This was where I was meant to be. Every person I met made that realization even clearer to me. After spending a week on campus, I knew that Florida State was where I wanted to be, but how exactly was I going to tell my dad that? Surprisingly, he took the news pretty well. After asking a few clarifying questions, he was an attorney after all, had I been accepted to Florida, who was going to pay for this education exactly? Yeah. Well, so at that point, he levied a challenge. Well, you better leave your mark. I will never forget that. And I took that advice to heart. So I got involved in campus right away. And I participated in every organization I could and led as much as I could do. And along the way, I met incredible friends, faculty, administrators, and alumni. I took classes from the incomparable Mark Ziegler. I pledged Gamma Phi Beta and got involved in Greek life, where I met people who are now lifelong friends. Heather and Woody Rodriguez, Kristen Campbell, Melanie Griffin, Marion Hargett, so many others. I worked alongside administrators who inspired me and mentored me: Mary Coburn, Nancy Turner, Cheryl Reagans. I got involved in the Student Alumni Association, interacting with students and alumni who really modeled the concept of lifetime commitment to FSU. Alan Durham, Sam Ambrose, Betty Lou Jonas. And working with fellow leaders, like we've talked about, Ben Crump and Sean Pittman, we stepped outside the traditional campus organization and we united to support Charlie Ward for the Heisman. That's where Burning Spear came from. That group of 16 student leaders created this new organization on campus, Burning Spear, and it is still the premier student organization on campus. And those Burning Spear alumni continue to be, just like Sean and Ben and myself and many others, the individuals who are passionately giving back to FSU every day. So many Burning Spear alumni and students are here. You saw the big group picture earlier. And I'm so appreciative they could all be here tonight. I'm sure there are many other places they'd rather be on a Friday night. So thank you for coming here to support us. And I'm so grateful that that legacy continues to live on today. I really felt that every ounce of energy that I put into Florida State came back to me threefold. My experience shaped me into the woman, leader, and person I am today. I would not be who I am today without Florida State. And that's why I continue to stay involved. That's why I continue to give back to our great alma mater. The opportunities over the years have further refined my skills as a leader and as an executive, and the friendships that I've made with other Knowles, remarkable individuals, so many in this room, like Gordon Holder, Yvonne Brown, Beth Azor, Ed Burr, Susan Fiorito, Mike Hartline, Jimmy Cole, Nan and Mark Hillis. Well, those relationships continue to shape my life. Working with Tom Jennings and Andy Johnji and their incredible team through the foundation, it's a true pleasure. And interestingly, it all comes full circle with my dad, now that I have the chance to work with the incredible President Thrasher, who knew my dad and worked with him when he was in the Senate. President Thrasher demonstrates incredible leadership and is an incredible, tremendous role model for me, just like my dad was. Clearly, you can tell that my dad had a big impact on my life, and I can thank Mary Coburn and Lee Hinkle for laying the groundwork for me to get involved with the foundation. As I remember it, Mary pulled the dad card. Your dad would want you to do this. Well, she was right. And I'm sure he's looking down proudly, wearing his FSU dad shirt. It's about as far as he would go. Knowing that I'm doing my best to leave my mark, as he instructed, even if that mark is made in garnet and gold. Thank you.